So my name is Angel. I'm the Senior Digital Strategist here at Just Solutions. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm currently based in Jacksonville, Florida, which is the original land of the Timucua people. And I'm going live today with our Senior Policy Analyst, Idalmis. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. Yeah, my name is Idalmis. I use she, her pronouns. I'm based out of Los Angeles on Tongvalans. And yeah, I'm really excited to join IG Live, although it has been a difficult journey here, but I'm glad we made it work.
It has been, but it's good thing that we just got on anyway. So yeah, it's really great to be able to go live and get to know our staff a little bit more and just kind of get to know like what got you here. And we're just really excited for all the amazing people who are joining our team soon. You'll see we're growing in a very exponential way. So I want to start off with an icebreaker. So the question that I have is, if you could learn one new skill, what would it be?
I think one new skill I'm really hoping to hone in on is how to keep my plants and herbs alive during the winter. I feel like it's always a successful, go great, and then they die, or there's like, I try to like plant some more herbs and in winter, harvest, and it just doesn't come out as expected. So that's my goal and my new skill I want to hone in on. What about you, Angel?
I can totally relate to that. That's real. I think for me, I really want to learn how to roller skate. And this
Yeah.
has like been something that I've been wanting to do, and I love watching the videos of like other people on their really cool skates. And I tried it once, and I had sprained my ankle. It was not a good time. But I definitely want to pick it up again when I just have more time to actually like go out and practice and stuff.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome. So I'm going to do just a quick introduction to Just Solutions as well, if anyone's joining us today and who's new. Just Solutions is a BIPOC-led national climate organization that partners with communities who are disproportionately impacted by climate change to turn their priorities and ideas into policies and laws. So we draw from community-created solutions and invest deeply in innovator states where justice-centered organizations and coalitions have demonstrated the vision, strategy, and political power to win and implement climate policies that strengthen their communities' health, economic security, and resilience. Awesome. So let's get into it. Let's just start with if you can share a little bit more about your background.
Yeah, I grew up in Los Angeles, specifically in Boyle Heights, which is an environmental justice community, and I grew up really not knowing what environmental justice meant. I grew up in public housing right next to the city of Vernon, which, if folks are familiar with LA, has a lot of industry, has a lot of truck traffic. Boyle Heights is also like sandwiched between a lot of freeways, and so I just grew up, exercising, being around like a lot of trucks and seeing a lot of factories, but not really understanding like that this wasn't really normal. It was just part of my daily life. And then until I went to college in the East Coast, I took an environmental studies class. I discovered what environmental justice meant, and actually through reading an article about East Los Angeles. So I was in Wellesley College, just kind of like learning about my community, like thousands of miles away. So it was an interesting way of like getting into what it means to grow up there. It gave me a lot of the language that I now have to say, like, this is environmental injustice, this is environmental racism, things like that. And so, I after that decided that I, wanted to go to law school. But in undergrad, I also intern and was a volunteer at Communities for a Better Environment, which is where I really got a lot more of the organizing and like advocacy skills that I have now. And thanks to that, I also learned about about the Exide battery facility in the city of Vernon, which emitted lots of lead into the surrounding communities, community that I grew up in, and a lot of environmental justice, low income, BIPOC communities in the area as well. So yeah, that really motivated me to go to law school and understand the environmental laws that affect our community. And so that's kind of the way of that I just decided to go to law school and understand these laws. And then I come from most recently Communities for a Better Environment, working on the same environmental injustice issues of Exide, and so it really shapes my understanding of what not only like lived experience but professional experience of like understanding the different laws and issues that our communities face. So that's a little bit about my background.
Yeah. I'm curious to know, can you describe a little bit what it is like being around that environment specifically? Like what are some of like the physical side effects of being near those industrial plants and whatnot?
Yeah. So in particular, like I think Exide has a very clear environmental effects. For example, lead is a neurotoxin. There's a lot of evidence that shows that there's no safe level of lead in a children's body and in anyone's body, right? But specifically for children growing up with lead, it has really high can lead to behavioral differences, issues, a lot of neurological changes, and so yeah, that's something that I realized, and I've been able to unfortunately like notice in my community. There's a lot more students and children who are affected by lead poisoning, who have difficulty learning in school, and besides the aspects of lead, there's diesel diesel trucks that are spewing a lot of these into our community, and that also brings a lot of asthma and respiratory illnesses to the community. So I just grew up having a lot of like friends who couldn't actually do any type of PE exercise or like couldn't join sports because they have asthma, and so that's kind of a little bit about the multi. There's not just like one type of pollution, but the idea of cumulative effects and impacts is really something I learned about and saw in my community.
Right, right. I mean, that's really unfortunate, but I also feel like it's really helpful to be able to like paint that picture because I think it's something that sometimes it's hard to like truly like comprehend what those impacts are on that level. But so, you went to law school, and I want to know if there's anything you can share about just that, I guess, journey, maybe like either what led you to go the law route specifically, or if you just have like any like advice for someone who's looking to go into that as well.
Yeah, I have a lot of advice, but I'll keep it short. I think it's a really interesting path. I think that we need more environmental lawyers who are from EJ communities and who are like understand the issues firsthand, because I think it really shapes your understanding and it gives you a more critical understanding of the laws as you're in law school. So I really encourage anybody who is thinking about it to pursue it if that's their calling. I decided to do it because I felt like I had a lot of great mentorship from other Latina lawyers, especially at CBE, who really motivated me to go to law school. And so I was, and just being around other environmental lawyers who also cared about EJ really inspired me to go to law school. And so I'd say, hopefully you can find a mentor in your community, in your circle who can support you in that journey. I think that's really important. And I think, yeah, what was the other point, the other question?
I mean, I think that covered it really. You talked about like what, got you to go to law school, for this specifically. And I think that's some really great advice. I mean, mentorship, I think, is something that, I don't know, I feel like it is talked about, but sometimes people don't consider like the value of like having a mentor, specifically also someone who, you can like relate to because of like representation and identity type stuff as well. So I think that's really great advice. Okay, so I want to know like what brought you to Just Solutions?
Yeah. I was really excited. I'm really excited to be at Just Solutions. I think it's like hitting my 5-month mark.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty new, but it's been a great experience. I wanted to focus more on like the policy side of the law and understanding how like sometimes the legal system is really unjust and it has been perpetuating a lot of injustices for our communities. It's not just environmental injustice, but like it really can harm um, our communities through like like workers' rights, reproductive justice. There's a lot of issues out there that I've seen, and we all know that like the courts aren't really helping us right now in this very moment. But I think what is exciting is the way in which folks are out there shaping the law, shaping the implementation of programs coming out of like new laws like the Inflation Reduction Act and the IIJ bipartisan infrastructure law. And so I think that was the exciting part, is seeing all of these new laws coming to create change and help us address climate change, and being able to shape and being a part of the shaping of those programs is really what excited me about coming to Just Solutions.
That's awesome. Well, again, I think I said this before, but we're really excited and happy that you're here. And I want to also just ask kind of like a positive note question. So, what gives you hope in regards to environmental justice?
Yeah, I think what brings me a lot of hope is seeing I think in this line of work is seeing how folks are really thinking about environmental justice in an intersectional way. All right, like I think for a long time the EJ movement, but also the environmental movement has been very siloed. And so being able to see how we're like connecting housing justice, connecting immigrant justice, workers' justice, like all with environmental justice is really exciting. And seeing those new partnerships like develop is also just like I love being able to meet with new organizations, new folks that we haven't really thought about or haven't created those partnerships, right? Because I think there's always like new opportunities, like I mentioned. So that's what brings me hope. But I think the other part of me and the organizer side of me is like the youth really give me hope. I love seeing how there's just a lot more like high schoolers out there understanding and advocating for climate justice, and how they're speaking truth to power. I think that's really important. Something that really shaped my understanding of like my work is as a youth member. So it's great to see the new generation of environmental justice leaders out there as well doing their thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think, yes, intersectionality is just like critical to any movement, really. And so it is great to see that it's becoming more and more common in mainstream that when we talk about these things, we're also talking about, like you said, housing justice, transportation justice, labor unions, and things like that. So that is a really good point. And then, yeah, I feel like also whenever I ask this question, like 90% of the time people answer like the youth is what gives me hope because, it's true, I relate also. So,
Yeah.
and I guess I want to know, what is it that you're working on this year? What are some of the things that you're working on?
Yeah, as part of Just Solutions, I'm really working on one of the things I'm working on over the next couple of months is identifying programs under the Inflation Reduction Act, again, the bipartisan infrastructure law that would support the goals and vision of like community-based organizations actually in LA. So it's like a real full circle moment trying to be on the other side of the area of this field, trying to provide the technical and legal assistance and support to support the vision of community-based orgs trying to do their thing, like fighting for food justice, fighting for climate justice and transportation equity. All, yeah, it's a really exciting project I'm working on, and hopefully, you know, get to work with more closely with these organizations to show them that there's some true possibilities with these programs that are coming out. So stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. That's awesome. Well, I know that you just recently published an article and it's on our website. I believe it's on,
Mhm.
can you remind me again what the article is?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a summary of the comments that Just Solutions submitted well, I think earlier this month or last month on the changes to the National Environmental Policy Act, which, yeah, the Council for Environmental Quality proposed. So there's a lot of new changes happening on that end on how the agency will implement new regulations on NEPA. And I think it's a really important piece, and I encourage folks to look at the comments. There's a lot of changes to ensure that when there's a definition for environmental justice and an analysis of environmental justice within NEPA documents and in environmental statements. So a lot of good changes, I think, there, and so I encourage folks to see that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that was really great. Thank you so much, Idalmis. I really appreciate you joining our Instagram Live today, and I really enjoyed just chatting with you. But I'll go ahead and wrap us up if you have anything else, but I'll go ahead and close this.
Yeah, thanks everybody for joining. It's great to see the great work that Solutions has around. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, awesome. So, you know, for those of you who have joined, you know, please check out the work that all of our team is doing on our website, JustSolutionsCollective.org. You can also stay informed on all of our activities on our social media channels, which is linked in our bio. But yeah, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.